Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Eddie Marcus here again. I had said I was going to put the past behind me and just focus on the future and celebrate it. However, I find that sometimes the past is so connected to the present you just can't separate yourself from it. And especially if it might have some significance about going forward, then perhaps it is kind of essential that we pay attention to it. So I woke up this morning with this thought, and I was thinking about when I saw on the television, it seemed as if the whole state of Texas was just covered white with a white blanket, and almost the housing structures were just, I guess they made their print, and that's how you recognize them. That's just a print. It wasn't that you just saw a house; you saw the print of a house, the print of a building, the print of a truck, the print of a car, maybe. And I'm thinking about these kinds of things. Wow, how terrible that must be to a people who have no heat, to people who water is frozen, pipes are bursting all over the place, ice, cars sliding down the streets, big transfer 18-wheelers that transports materials, food, clothing, and other items throughout the country, throughout stalled out on the highways in snow. I'm thinking about this stuff. And I'm thinking about why, it might have happened a few times before, but if so, it was far in between. But now, maybe it's because I'm older, I'm really thinking about this thing. What if this is just not Texas. We got a whole bunch of states going through these kinds of changes. And thank God for those who have been spared so far. And I'm thinking about, people standing in line for food. I'm thinking about people standing in line for water, for gas, standing in line hoping they can get anything. And I even see some people out there with shorts on. They must really were caught off guard. I see people burning furniture in their fireplace, if they got one, trying to stay warm. The grid, they say, doesn't work. Somebody said you saved money by not engaging in that process, or were able to stay attached to some type of source that made money. And so I'm thinking about it, ladies and gentlemen. I'm thinking about over the past 5 years where you just heard nothing but, to some, lies, and to others, alternative truths. And just so much pain done to people. It was just sickness and sadness and murder. And it's been so sad. And then you think about it culminated in an attack on the nation from within the nation, brought forth by a bunch of hate and racism and all of the ugly things that have been resting in this country for so long. Wow. It's amazing that the oppressed had to endure the oppressor, the privileged, and observe that they are instruments of most of the hate. And it is they that attack the nation. They attacked the nation seemingly because it appeared as if there were those in the nation who had some compassion for other people. Not total compassion, but some compassion, more compassion than these, and they wanted to take the nation over so they can really show a lack of compassion. That tells you how far we were from the truth, how far we were from love. And then I woke up this morning also and I hear that Rush Limbaugh has died. And they say he had the biggest talk show in the country. The biggest, 85, I think, what was it, $85 million a year. I don't know. He's making so much money, but he and I are the same age, and he passed on. And I'm thinking about the first time I ever heard of it. You know, in search for truth and studying situations, I spent some time going to various types of religious functions. And I spent some time with the Moonies, you know, the guy, Reverend Moon, who started this organization, I do believe. And they had some different and some interesting philosophies. So I would go to listen to them sometime. And one day in a discussion, they mentioned something about Rush Limbaugh. And they said that Rush Limbaugh was excellent. He could hit the nail right on the head with the hammer every time. Rush Limbaugh. If you want to know what's really going on, just listen to Rush Limbaugh. He could tell you. So here I am. I'm a seeker of truth. I never heard of this guy before. But if you say that he's all of that, let me go and check him out. So one day, I don't think it was that same day, but one day at the right time, I thought about it. I said, oh, let me turn old Rush on. And turn Rush Limbaugh on, and I'm telling you, it's all I could do to keep from breaking every glass out of that car that I was in. I mean, that man brought so much hate out of me by the things he said. I couldn't believe that these religious organizations had found any righteousness in one word that Rush Limbaugh was saying. So what that really reflected was two different situations. Me, I'm an expression of where I come from, what I've been exposed to in this life. And that, when it heard Rush Limbaugh talk, it was this, how in the world could anybody approve of that? It was evil to me. It was straight up pure D evil listening to Rush Limbaugh. And here Reverend Moon and people are telling about it's okay. Pure D evil. And they attacked the nation. Now this guy's dying. Then I'm thinking, we better wake up. I'm not saying that we're being punished, but there's a lot of focus and attention on some certain things that's happening. Now, what if for the next 6 months, the things that's happening in this country right now continue to happen? Will we be out here talking about Republicans and Democrats? Would we be out here talking about black and white and this virus still taking people out? Or would we be doing everything we possibly can to stop everything that we could stop together? And we wouldn't care if we were gay or straight, if we were transsexual, transgender. It doesn't matter. If you tall or short, or even a midget would be appreciated. But why you got to get yourself in that kind of trouble before you can wake up? Well, the whole mission of this whole effort is to wake you up. Might be a little late, but for those of us who are not experiencing that stuff right now, the way to wake up is to think about never having to go through that and preparing that everybody that had to go through that survives, come out in a brand new world. Well, thanks.